Anybody else? Any other questions? Yes, Allison.
Hi, I have a question about the profitability of self-publishing versus traditional. Where's the money? I mean, if you self-publish, then you're responsible for all your own promotion. Isn't that correct?
You are.
Going off track here.
You are.
So, do you have any examples of, or in your mind, if I asked you just point blank, who makes more money, going traditionally or self-publishing? What would you?
Well, you know, there are a lot of variables, to be honest with you. There are a lot of variables. But what I can tell you, what I know about self-publishing, and Carol, please feel free to jump in, is that you have more control over your product. And you also can affect the pricing of your book. And I think you get a larger percentage. The actual bottom line, though, Allison, traditionally speaking, self-published authors, and there are always people that are breaking the rules, self-published authors, one of their biggest challenges to get over, the hurdles to get over, is distribution. Distribution comes with a traditional publisher because they've got a sales force that's out there selling your book to all of the retailers, to all of the distributors. You've got in-house people that are marketing it. They're working on the publicity of it. So you share a team of people. Now you can also have those people as a self-published author. The difference is you have to pay for those services. Okay? And again, Carol, please. But yeah.
So I would say you don't have to, the return factor and making that the advance for the publisher, that could be, that could hurt you.
There are a lot of variables. Thanks, Carol. Yes, sir.
Have you thought about what your next book would be?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you. Yes, actually, I'm working on a couple, and one of children's books, to be honest with you. One of them is, right now it's loaded up on Amazon Kindle, and it's for really young children, and it's called Where, Oh, Where Has My Tizzy Gone? And Tizzy is a turtle, and it's a children's story for really young kids, probably from the age of maybe, as early as they would sit and listen, maybe 3 years old to maybe 6 years old. It's a story actually based on my childhood with one of my sisters, with two of my sisters actually. So it's a lot of fun. And I'm also writing a story that involves dogs. And that's another big push for me. And I'm sure all of you know how popular animal stories are out there. And I've been working on this one for a while. So looking for representation so I can get that traditional publisher, looking for an agent. And in the meantime, I just keep working on that story. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes?
In regards to self-publishing and editing, I've been working on my book for 4 years. I have rewritten it. I'm on the 4th rewrite.
Good.
It's making me nuts.
Yep.
And I'm trying to do the formatting when I'm not actually writing and being creative. I'm trying to format. So I'm starting from the beginning. I'm doing it in Word, working my way through. And I intend to self-publish because I feel it's going to be faster and easier. However, I'm wondering how much editing are they going to do for me? I mean, I know I have to have it in the proper format before I actually submit it. At least close to almost perfect, exactly the way I want it to be printed, I believe. I have been talking with Author House, iUniverse,
Oh, good.
a couple of different ones.
Good.
But I'm wondering if you know, or if you know, how much actual editing I'm gonna get, or how much help am I gonna get with that? And should I mean, every time I go back to the beginning, I start changing things.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not changing the basic story, but words, sentences, you know, it's constant. I have to stop.
Yes, yes you do. Yeah,
I'm just wondering if I get it in the proper format and I submit it, is there going to be enough editing there?
That's a great question, and I can certainly empathize with that aspect because I definitely went through a lot of rewrites before I submitted it to my editor, and then she had her own rewrites, and so it's definitely a process, and to have an outside editor is a huge benefit, and anyone, even if they're self-publishing, should hire an editor. Now, most self-publishers will have that opportunity for you, but again, you have to pay for that service. So the editorial service is available to you through self-publishing. You just have to be prepared to pay for it. In order to be published in a traditional house, most publishing houses will require that you are represented by an agent. And so then you submit your work to an agent, and today, they're even doing editing. And they're doing publicity. So the world has changed a little bit in the publishing arena. People are wearing a lot more hats than they used to because the competition is really stiff. And even with 300,000 books being published annually, you still have to have a good product. And that's what it starts with. You have to assume that your book is worth publishing and then build from there. But definitely get an outside editor. You have to kind of put the brakes on and say, okay, this is enough. I can't do any more. Yeah. If you feel like it's gotten to that point.
I totally agree with you about the editor. If anyone thinks that they don't need an editor, please reconsider, because I was at a book party about 3 weeks ago, and this woman was telling me how she published this book. She did it through iUniverse. She goes, but I didn't need an editor because I'm a teacher. I didn't need an editor. She gave me her business card, and I said, okay, maybe she didn't. So I went to her website, and do you know that if she created her own website, the word received is spelled wrong right away. It just was
Yeah,
like,
and that happens.
yeah, and it just totally, I was like, yes, you need this. It doesn't mean you're a bad writer. It means
No.
your eyes just didn't catch it.
That's right. And we all need an editor. And my editor is in the room tonight, the one who actually helped me before I could submit it to the publisher. It's my brother-in-law, Dick Barrett, back there. Thank you, Dick. He was amazing, and he did a lot of quick turnarounds and had a lot of great questions for me, but it really helped just to have another set of eyes. As Carol was saying, after a while, you just sort of glaze over things. You can't possibly see it. You've read it so many times. I even get to the point where I think, well, I've already said that. I've already read that. And in reality, I didn't. So yeah, definitely you must have an editor. And actually, Carol also does editing, so you might be interested in talking with her. All right, we should start passing out cards here.